Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
The blind pick Zach. They know that they can send it towards the side lane, or they can do those early swaps rather, and Zach can handle that fine. But in the Cassante matchup, they can also happily take that 2 versus 2 if they're feeling confident. G2 have a lot of control.
Caps had already gotten the priority in mid, so only real option there is to cross map. You do see though, Junja still.
Punish the flash. It always is, right? If Maple was able just to stay safe for the next 5 minutes and just continue farming up, then the flash not punished. Flash hook though going in. Seismic shot back onto Mickey as he was waiting in the bush, but he was pounced on by PSG. The collapse continues. Maple gets the kill. Who's really winning, Betty? I think it's PSG.
Big thing there was that G2 was sitting on the ward control with either the Talia or the Poppy. There was plenty of team fighting power to go around, which in practice, I know from experience, does not necessarily lead to the most interesting games.
But it's also an elimination game, right? Pathmaker back here. Broken Blade tanking up the tower into the all-out. Goes into the cell division. Oh, it's a balmy stiff again. Azure punishes BB. And he'll get the kill before BB gets back to life.
A massive misplay from Broken Blade. He tries to proxy the wave.
Definitely second to this. As Betty says, I think it's too late as well. Woody misses the hook. Yike goes in. Can't land the smite. Secured by Junja. Mickey dodges away from the chain of
stacking of PSG and their members, and I think they're in a good position to threaten the dive.
G2 trying to react. Woody going in with the Hex Splash. There's the TP all out under the towers. Azure tanks it up. Dash away from the seismic shove. Elastic slingshot in by Broken Blade. Gets hooked. Mickey flashes across the wall and Hans Summers starts to put the damage down onto Junja. Let's bounce on the back line as Azure falls low, as does Woody. Cataclysm with the follow-up. Cease and desist going in as Hans Summer is isolated from the rest of G2. Betty was yeeted away, but 2 kills so far over to G2. Only 1 in response by PSG. The dash back in. Mickey goes forward. Junja falling low, but Betty is raining down arrow after arrow on top of them. Double knock-up. Yike falls. Junja and Betty Caps dancing on them. Betty goes into the fog of war though. Junja able to escape for the moment. Betty tries to trade, can't get it. Caps with a double. Junja's going to dash across this wall, but the blast cone from Caps. Will Junja get away? He has the enhanced recall. Caps jumps in and down goes Junja.
And PSG around the objective. It looks all right, but that drags. Broken Blade with the flash order there towards the start of the fight to set it all up.
Mickey stepping forward, puts the set plus presence down. Yike across the wall, a possibility, but with the depth charge, Mickey's just locked up, doesn't get an opportunity to move, and Mickey caught out by PSG.
Massive with the dragon spawning in 15 seconds. PSG put themselves in a great spot. Weaver's wall.
And somewhere on the wrong side of it. Yike trying to join up. Caps in the top lane, does have the TP. Broken Blade's pushing out bot. Riftel's going to charge in. That will be the mid-tier 1 falling. PSG take it. The Drake next on the menu for them would be their 3rd of the game.
Agi is top though, and he doesn't have TP, whereas Caps does. But PSG still going to go for this.
Now they've invested a lot. Remember that Maple also used his ultimate to try and catch Hans Summer off. But PSG, they still want to fight.
First line going in, Fate's call out. Yike flashes forward into the Classic and into the blast cone as PSG scatter to the winds. Caps trying to join up, TP behind as Yike is low. They engage with the Bolt Breaker, followed up by Junja. Stretching strike, pulls in 2. Yike able to escape, but Azure's now on the back line, and Caps is separated from his team. Azure dancing in. The Cell Division from Broken Blade will buy him another second. Caps into the back of the pit. Cell Division going low as Maple will take out Broken Blade. Yike next to fall, and now it's all on Hans Summer and Caps and Mickey. Junja locked against the wall, but it's 2 as PSG just outplay G2 in the team fight. They find 4, only Caps remains standing, but how long will he stand for? He tries to trade back, and Maple sends him into the dirt. He gets 1 in exchange.
And just like that, PSG respond with an ace of their own. They find all 5 members while keeping 3 alive. They're going to put themselves at Dragon Soul Point 2. PSG with incredible team. But you're getting to see the impact that Betty can have in these fights. Aja caught off on a side lane.
PSG might set up around the Baron for this. Azure will fall. Broken Blade does still have the TP, as does Cap, so PSG realize all you can get really is vision because you know you're overloading this side of the map. They're trying to delay Azure here so that they have better tempo on the resets. If they can delay him for long enough, maybe they can set up around the Baron themselves. Caps will take him in the end. Might actually just be a tier 2 push in the bot lane, but with the minion wave cleared out, it's a bit harder for G2 to do that. That's the first TP, there's the carry. We saw the team damage in the last fight as well. Baron down to 6,000. Junja trying to get in, has the flash, has the smite. Keep it verdict blocked as he dives onto the backline. Junja's off towards the side, he flashes in. The Baron down to 600, and Junja gets it! G2 unable to secure the objective, and will they be able to win the fight? Can PSG continue to advance? G2 already lost 1. The Weaver's wall on the backline will take out Caps as well, and now it's all on Hans Summer to do everything he can. Maple flashing forward. Hans Summer, can you dance around Maple well enough? Broken Blade will have the elastic slingshot. He'll jump in. It's a triple for Maple so far. Holding the elastic slingshot from G2 will back away as he's rejoined the fight. Broken Blade forced away. Hans Summer has to flash. And in the end...
meaning that I'm pretty sure it's only Maple that is sitting on it right now. So you can't really rely on the side lane pressure the way that you normally can with the Baron.
In their approach to the fights, and now with control over mid and cleansing out of this vision, they're setting themselves up nicely for the fourth drag.
Caps spotted an award, BB2, seismic shove back. Caps might look to the backline. Maple, a key target as well, alongside Betty. Caps jumps across the wall. There's the depth charge. Keeper's verdict knocks out Maple, and now BB begins to party, bouncing in. Ginger locked into the wall, and it's all on Betty. Weaver's wall back in, separates the team. Elastic shot forward as Azure is caught all unawares by G2. They find 3, they're looking for more. As Caps dives in, he wants to make it 4. This tower's enough to keep Maple alive for a second, but there's the 4th. Only Betty survives, and Caps is having none of that. Knock back, boom, boom, boom. It's 5-0.
And a clean ace out of seemingly nowhere. PSG, they get the Baron, they get a good setup, but they overstep in the enemy jungle. They seem split on the call. Maple wasn't there when the fight started, their biggest damage dealer thus far.
G2 finally got the team fight that they were looking for. They're able to execute on the front to back.
Is here. G2 just want to start it and maybe get the TP out of Maple. Caps will continue to push in. They're just stepping. Who matches Caps in a side lane right now?
For the objective. Meanwhile, that top wave is just bleeding into the tower.
Right, just trying to trade here. Flash, step up, presence, stop the bolt breaker. Broken Blade coming in from the side as well. It's the 2 tanks. The G2 dive on. They all dodge the chain of corruption. And a great keeper's verdict will knock Woody out of the fight. Azure pulls Yike across the wall, but the chase continues as Caps begins to rain hell. A double for him. Stretching strike brings 2 in. And Caps is ready. Put him in the bouncy castle. It's a triple for Caps. He's gonna make it 4. A quadra. Can Caps cement himself on this series with a penta? He needs 1 more. Maple won't give it to him. Pentas are earned, not given, but G2 win the fight.
Maple isn't quite in position, and it just becomes a straight up front to back fight. The Nautilus gets knocked away, the utility is gone. Betty can do very little as G2 just mow down the front line.
G2 though looking for a catch in the sideline here already. Maple's down. Ginger trying to dance around it. Woody there as well. Azure going in. Hans Summer flashes away from the Pathmaker. Broken Blade on the backline. Ginger still down to half HP, but Caps is ready to join the party. Clears out the minion wave. PSG lost 1. Looks like they were the ones initiating the play to dive in. Elastic slingshot into the knockback. Woody able to buffer away with the Q, but Caps continues to chase. And all it takes is a couple of autos with a bomb on your head for Caps to take you out. Azure brings Broken Blade back. He has the cell division though. As Caps walks through the tower, it's another for Caps. He's legendary, not only in the LEC, but here on the MSI stage.
G2 wipe PSG once again. They have the Nexus in their eyes, and they're looking to take game 1.
All comes back to that fight at Dragon where G2, as we pointed out, had the realization, just hit the front line, hit whoever's available. We have enough damage, we can chew through them. And G2 take game number 1 out. LeBlanc J4, that's a 2v2 that goes back a very, very long time. Really
volleys hitting the clone instead of hitting the minion wave. Azure down to 300 HP. In the bot lane, Mickey and Hans Summer have the push. Hook onto Mickey though. Hammer smash. Mickey takes about half his health. Ginger walks around the Sentinel, going up towards that Scuttle Crab. Looks like Yike was spotted as he came across here. Goes on to Ginger. Mickey looking for the dash into the wall. Ginger flashes away. Bolt breaker. Mickey flashes it. Heroic charge into the wall. But where's Hans Summer? Not here with his team right now. Caps moving down. Maple here to join the play. It's a 3v3. As Betty tries to get away, Yike jumps across, Hans Summer takes 1. Maple already down to 200 HP as G2 continue to collapse. Woody has flash, can he get away? Dredgeline, Riptide, should be able to flash if Caps jumps in, he does exactly that. Caps can't jump back, seismic shove going wide. Maple, the chains still connect, Yike not going in, but Woody looks for the re-engage. And Woody, what are you doing? Buzz isn't here to help you. Maple is tapped as well. Tremendous play by G2.
A disaster for PSG. They lose. And then Yike lands the E, flash auto to secure it. 4 kills for G2.
In our picture-in-picture as well, we did see a dive materializing on Broken Blade in the top lane, but Yike was there to answer. Mickey looking for Woody here. He's at 300 HP, puts the steadfast presence down, gets the knock into the wall. Hans Summer will rend 1, but Betty has the mana and the health advantage here as Hans Summer has to dance away. Does have double summoners. Should be able to burn the flash here if Betty charges up the arrow. Hans Summer flashes it.
One of the big is something that you're going to look towards, but that is where, to me, and the desk highlight is as well, this Poppy pick is such a nuisance. One of the biggest advantages that you have is Maple.
Maple gets out, just eats a distortion to the face.
Yeah, as I was saying before, Cap, a few, I think, moments, or opportunities rather, for PSG.
Caps looking for Maple, first chain lands. Maple takes half his health, he's 2 levels down as well. He's in such a hole right now.
One of the, oh, hang on a second, Caps.
Caps would have to jump back onto the unraveled earth here. He does so. Ginger finds him, but Yike's already got one. Caps dashes back. Will be able to escape from the clutches of Ginger, and Ginger now needs to try and escape. Oh, breaker! Oh! Is that Sib HD? I see on my screen, you just can't touch him. Caps gets another.
Caps and Yike, the mid-jungle 2v2 coming out on top. Betty uses the ult.
And Summer has the face call here. Mickey might just flash, hammer shots into the wall. The cleanse will be enough, but not as he tries to get away at the end. Woody coming in, stops the keeper's verdict, but Woody, in a moment, will realize there's no minion wave here for him to defend. He will, well, he's not going to allow Mickey to walk. Oh, Mickey tanked the tower. The Ignite will tick on him. Flash. Oh, Mickey. He didn't need to hit Woody. What are you doing, Mickey?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe he thought he was already in range.
Largely off the back of this mid-jungle duo. Yike making his presence known in the enemy jungle. Mickey at his back. There's Caps.
Woody trying to get away. They jump onto Maple instead, and Mickey's here once again. Caps with the chase. Destiny, where you going? Maple across the wall, but the gold card will follow you. Broken Blade locks it in and puts Maple in the dirt. Now Ginger next up for G2. They continue to collapse, dodge the hook. Betty coming in from the side as well, but he realizes they're outnumbered right now. The chains connect on Ginger. We'll just take him down to half HP. All this play likely over a Rift Herald into a Drake.
This game is rapidly deteriorating for PSG. They're losing full control. They're no longer able to walk into their own jungle. And the moment, especially against the Fet LeBlanc, this mid lane turret falls, you're going to be in so much trouble as Woody just dies!
Just decomposes in front of our very eyes. Chain of Corruption did land onto Yike. Ginger coming in as well, but you can't bot Breaker out of the steadfast presence. And the Cataclysm is the death knell for PSG. 12 kills to 3, a 6,000 gold lead.
Towards mid and just punishing anything that PSG tries to do. The saving grace for PSG is Aja.
BB, no flash, gold card locked. Yike coming in as well. Ginger tanking that turret. Aja flashes away as BB will fall, but Ginger pays for the dive with his life. Hansama on the chase. Fate's call. Possible, but unlikely to chase any further here as Aja has a half HP tower to retreat to.
Mickey with his Deadman's plays like, I'm running. I've got Swifties. I'm on my way. Unfortunately, thanks to Junja's sacrifice.
Aja.
Oh, boy.
Nope, he doesn't.
Can you kill him? Counter-Strike used early. Maybe you can. Knocked into the wall. He's running. And he smashes Aja against the side of Summoner's Rift.
I think the Poppy might be a problem, and I think PSG need to seriously
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
We've done so many times. And then I imagine they watched T1 win the game. I was like, oh, you know what? Poppy's fine. It's no problem. The problem now for PSG is because they're so far behind. G2 is winning as many sides of the map as humanly possible. That's not allowed. You get to usually win one while the opponent trades, but because the gold leads are so oppressive, Caps has a Crypt Bloom.
The risk for G2 is they are playing undermanned fights at times. Azure has TP in. He's going to go to the mid lane. Hansama still in the top lane, but the keeper's verdict makes this a 4v3. Maple falls first. Betty short to follow. BB gets the double. Dredgeline away by Woody, but that anchor is sending him to the depths. Hansama, all the meanwhile, he's doing damage to turrets.
It's as you say, Chronicler, PSG, no matter what they do on the map, they're just getting stopped by the aggression of G2. So they said, you know what, we'll remove some of their front-to-back elements and we'll make it easier for us to team fight. And then G2 said, how about we don't team fight? How about we just fight you 2v2, 3v3? And Caps has become a very serious problem.
Counter-Strike, heroic charge into the wall. Counter-Strike dodged, and Azure, yeah. That's
what happened at last year's Worlds. They knew that they were heavy favorites coming into that series against NRG, and they fell short. They didn't want that blunder to happen again. And coming into today,
oh come on!
G2 casting it's Betty casting a G2 game.
13k gold up.
Surely.
Atlas has been on the wrong end of these before.
He has.
And the inhibitor getting pushed here. Flash in, season assist. Caps flashes away from the chain of corruption. Azure trying to dive on the backline. But look at the might. PSG just surrounded by the oncoming hordes of G2's minions. Broken Blade now on the inhibitor tower in the mid lane as they're looking for more. Caps continues to dash in. Betty takes half his health without the chains even landing. And Woody takes more as the Cataclysm finds an easy avenue for G2 to lock up PSG. And they were taking their time, but now they're not ready. 21 minutes into the game. G2 will rip through PSG and go one game away from making it into the next round of MSI.
An absolute shellacking of PSG here. And we talked about it, the draft, you gotta completely switch it up. You can go blue side, you can bend it up, something.
Just been practicing Vayne.
Dylan, we gotta go Vayne. Caps is calling for it. He's pretty sure of it. BB will take it into the top lane, into that Cassante. Poppy will go to support to Ginger. Azure pops the ghost. Ginger will get his Razor Beaks, but now Mickey's going to knock him away. Broken Blade ghosting in as well, looking for the condemn before Azure gets to the safety of his tower. There it is, Pathmaker, well played by Azure, but can he survive the continued dive? Tanking up his Hun, Summer takes a couple of shots, Azure ignited, and Azure falls for first blood.
He just goes back to lane, trying to...
The problem, and one of the biggest differences, is that Yike pathed in a way as Caps.
Azure's going to be able to get the Pathmaker into the wall. Caps still has the flash, tries to turn it back around. It's ringing around the rosies. Caps flashes again! Oh, how do you do that twice? If I had a penny for every time, I'd have two. It's not much, but it's damn surprising as Caps outplays the 2v1.
How did Caps make that happen? I was convinced that he was...
They can look to catch this wave as it crashes under their tower, and then after the push, if Ginger still stays around, they can try and reset towards bottom lane. Azure, no TP as the engage happens from Mickey, and Woody falls low. Mickey down to half HP, Astral Flight in from the side. Counter strike on Ginger, will get the stun. Hansama flashing over the wall as well. Trying to take out Betty, out of vision now though. Stars descend, doesn't hit anyone. Ginger down to 300 HP. Hansama takes the kill on Betty. Ginger having to dash and flash away. G2 continue the chase. Azure's now here.
He's running. He's going to be able to push here unrelenting.
I mean, PSG have done a great job of suffocating this Vayne. Medic has been talking about it extensively, about how they've constantly moved around the map and constantly swapped, and it's been paying dividends for them. Azure, of course, still behind, only level 7, as they look for another dive.
The pathmaker from Azure. Mickey immediately has the flash away. Chain of corruption going down as well. The piercing arrow into the hail from Hansama is enough. The dive surprising, but the result good for G2.
His flash being forced into a loss, and Hansama getting further ahead.
Azure TP'd in behind here, popping the ghost as well. Hansama trying to get away, doesn't have the flash. Heal up for him
around
though.
the rosies.
He's running!
Where we go? Where we go? Hansama. Oh, he's going back! Which way? And Tofu's 3. Hansama's gonna die to the tower. Woody, the heal! Hansama, can he execute? No, all out! Shut down.
If he hadn't healed, oh, it's a close one. Because if he hadn't healed, he would have died earlier, but he also may have been in range.
Win some of these early skirmishes with Rumble as level 6, Ignite available as well.
Ginger level 8. I feel like PSG should feel confident to try and take this fight. And
Azure's moving down as well.
G2 going to respect it. No TP on Broken Blade, of course.
G2
should be there.
Keeper's Verdict looking for Woody. Knocks him away, the equalizer there. Counter-strike into Smite. Yike takes it. Mickey walking away. Yike still has the leap strike. Ginger has Audacious Charge, but I'm not sure you want to charge any further or any more audaciously as Betty gets onto Mickey, knocked into the wall, the cleanse away. Mickey dodges away from the equalizer, but his life should be forfeit as Woody flashes. Electro Harpoon into the Arcane Comet is enough.
It's okay for PSG, but it's still a lot of investment into
but actually, it wasn't even Betty backing. It's Betty in the bot lane. Hex Flash over to avoid the control ward.
There was no pings. I don't actually think they know Betty.
Betty trying to retreat. Hansama looking for the fight as Betty has no way out apart from flash. The piercing arrow still pierces through his heart as G2 find their fifth.
And Betty wants to hold on, but I think you have to flash there immediately and just try to negate as much damage as possible instead.
No real threat. Riftail picked up by Ginger as PSG. Even gold score. Mickey jumping in. Betty, no flash, Chain of Corruption. Ginger on the flank, though. Yike diving in onto Betty, who's forced low. Yike flashes, gets it. Equalizer on the backline. Woody falling so low as well as he managed to pick up one counter kill. TP in by Maple. Caps returning the favor. Ginger goes in with a Crescent Guard, and Mickey knocks him back into his team. He needs to be inside that ring to do the damage, and Caps just waits for it to expire! And the arrow right through! PSG by G2.
Oh, Hans! That's the type of target practice that you dream of.
Looking for this mid lane once again. Flash available for Hansama. Yike the only one on G2 without one as Yike goes in, the knock into the wall, the counter strike. You can bring down the heavens, but it's only Yike who falls. 1 for 1 so far, but Jungler's going down as Azure tries to get in, rooted with the chain of corruption. G2 now starting to retreat. Broken Blade still in the top lane, no TP, remember, so this is always going to be a numbers disadvantage for G2.
A nice trade back from PSG after G2 initiates the skirmish. Both junglers down means that the Dragon is going to be hard to secure, and as you rightly said, numbers in favor of PSG. Maple going to go bot.
I wouldn't be surprised if PSG decides to let this one go, particularly with Mickey standing guard. Maybe a catch on Caps.
Caps has flash, has the shockwave, pulls two. The counter-strike follow-up. The falling star not going to be enough as Yike falls low. Caps actually separated from the team. It was the singularity, but once again it's Mickey going in. Maple flashing away. Caps on Summer. And Mickey trying to fight this one out. TP burned as Broken Blade works his way down. Hearts back towards mid, might just be looking to push out that wave.
G2 should just buy time, wait for Broken Blade to push in the mid wave. Betty.
Mickey has flash, a couple of spears go into his back, the root with the chain of corruption. Ginger taken out by Hans Summer. Mickey with the steadfast presence, the cleanse not enough to keep back Betty alive as Hans Summer takes down a double. Breath of life, breath of death for Mickey. Azure going in with the all-out, Hans Summer still alive! As Caps secures the kill. Breath of life in with the astral flight. Hans Summer heals, but Maple's in the wrong side of the woods. As Broken Blade will chase him down the hill, and arrows for the slow. Broken Blade takes out his man.
And Broken Blade shows up, takes his last hit and said, guys, you didn't even...
We're seeing this a lot in these fights. A jungle for jungle exchange. Yike on the front line kind of melts to the damage from Maple. And then it turns thanks to the TP from Aja. Oh, we don't have time. We're back in the action.
Okay, so Maple rode in the Rift Herald, and Caps and Mickey are just here waiting for him. Keep his verdict up. Caps down to half HP. Maple trying to trade back, but I don't think you win these. The channel stopped with the heroic charges. Yike fights on the top side. TP in by Azure, but he's going to be met by G2. Is actually Caps site on the TP as Azure's already fallen. PSG wiped away again. Betty trying to hibbity-hobbity, but he just can't find anything.
And this is right in front of Nash. That's going to be the Baron gone to take with the ultimate. And then I think PSG feels safe because they are playing, or they're seeing G2 play on the upper side of the map, but with the teleport, that numbers advantage doesn't matter as...
Yeah. Azure, he's on his lonesome down here, and Yike and Broken Blade will happily take the kill. G2 find another. Drake up in a minute 11 would be their third of the game, and you see how...
of this Poppy pick. Now 3 levels behind Hans Summer. An angry G2 is beginning their siege with the Baron buff.
4-1 split, Broken Blade in the bot lane. Doesn't have the final hour up yet, but these towers melt like butter in the face of Yike, Hans Summer, and Caps. Now they'll path down towards this bottom side, make sure that Broken Blade can take the turret. No minion wave in mid for a couple of seconds. Mickey just standing over here, buffing up this wave so PSG have to deal with it while the rest of G2 path towards bot.
Maple initially was looking for a flank, then took the Hexgate top, pushes that out, but they're just not going to get anything. The pressure from G2 is way too much. As at least the mid inhib, I imagine both inhibs are going to go down here very rapidly unless PSG pull a trigger.
Ginger pull back with the shockwave, puts the Crescent Guard down, singularity out by Maple to stop the advance of these minions. Is it 200 stacks?
9.5k gold lead, Medic. But I like your attention to detail.
100%, a ton of people are going to start playing Poppy support after seeing it.
This is World Championship regardless of the outcome of this game. As G2 continue their assault onto the base and look to round out this series 3-0.
Last inhibitor up.
Mickey? Okay.
He had the Edge of Night there for a bit of shielding, which meant that the engage...
Oh, I understand. Oh, Betty.
TP behind, Azure. Last chance saloon for PSG. Can they find it? All or nothing, you say. The skies descend. The equalizer only onto Caps. Pathmaker. Caps flashes away. And now the counter punch is landing. Broken Blade chases Ginger out. Already we see Azure fall on the front line, and Broken Blade has the flank against 3. Can he do it? The final hour dashes away. Woody flashing in, and Mickey finds his man. Maple has to flash the wall. It's a double for BB. Maple falls as well, and only Betty left alive for PSG. Not for much longer. Good cleanse, though. Who will survive to watch his Nexus fall. There were doubts about G2 coming into MSI, but here they breathe life into EU as they make it to a matchup against top esports.